If you don't understand BLS resuscitation, you're going to miss multiple NREMT questions. And more importantly, you won't know what to do when it actually matters. I'm Adam, a firefighter paramedic and an EMT and paramedic instructor. In this video, I'm going to break this down in a way that actually makes sense. We're going to be going over the newest edition of JBL Learning. We're not going to be going through everything in great detail, but this is more so going to be a crash course on what matters for the test and real life. Everything in EMS comes down to one concept: what kills first? We're always thinking airway, breathing, circulation, bleeding, but in cardiac arrest, we flip that. Circulation comes first because if there's no blood flow, nothing else matters. So that if there's no pulse, your brain should immediately go to compressions. Recognizing cardiac arrest is simple, but students tend to overcomplicate it. There's three things: unresponsive, not breathing, or just gasping and no pulse. You check that pulse for no more than 10 seconds, but at least 5, and it's always going to be a carotid pulse check. That's going to be on your neck right beside your trachea. If you're not sure, you assume that there is no pulse and you start CPR. And one big test tip: agonal respirations are not real breathing. That's just going to be a trap. The goal of CPR is not necessarily to fix the patient, it's to buy time. You're manually pumping blood to the brain and the heart. So what matters, right? What matters is rate, depth, recoil, and minimizing interruptions. Bad CPR kills. Good CPR gives the patient a chance. Don't get caught up trying to be perfect, just focus on consistency. This is huge for the NREMT. The most important intervention in cardiac arrest is defibrillation. Most cardiac arrests are caused by a rhythm problem, like ventricular fibrillation or pulseless VTAC. That means the fix is a shock. So your goal is simple: get the AED on as fast as possible. Do not delay compressions, but don't delay the AED either. This is where most students mess up. They choose oxygen first, or airway first, or they overthink the pulse. But the test is asking what kills first. If there's no circulation, none of that really matters, right? So your mindset needs to be compressions first, AED early, and just keep it simple. Airway is important, but not before circulation. You're doing 30 compressions to 2 breaths. Each breath should be slow, about 1 second. A big mistake is don't hyperventilate. If you ventilate too fast or too forcefully, you actually reduce blood volume returning to the heart. So controlled, deliberate breaths matter. High performance CPR is what actually improves survival. That means switching compressors every 2 minutes so you don't get fatigued, keeping interruptions under 10 seconds, and maintaining a high compression fraction. Basically, compression's happening most of the time. This is where teamwork really matters. Let's break this down how the NREMT actually tests it. You get a patient who's pulseless and not breathing. The question asks, what do you do first? And this is where people pick up airway or oxygen. But the correct answer is going to be always compressions. Always ask yourself, what is going to kill my patient first? Pediatrics is different, and this shows up on the test for sure. Most pediatric arrests are caused by respiratory failure, not cardiac issues. So airway and breathing matter more early on. That's why the ratios change when you have 2 rescuers. Just remember, kids crash from airway problems first. There are times you don't start CPR. If the scene isn't safe, if there are obvious signs of death, or if there's a valid DNR. And once you start, you continue until one of the stop criteria happens. The patient improves, there's a transfer of care, you physically can't continue. What that means is that you're not simply just tired, it means you're physically unable to continue chest compressions, or a physician tells you to stop. If you remember nothing else, remember this. No pulse, you want to start compressions. You want to get the AED on early. You want to minimize interruptions. Airway comes after circulation, and kids are airway driven. This is what the test is essentially built on. If this helped you, I'm going to be breaking down the entire EMT curriculum just like this. We're going to focus on what actually matters. If you want more structured prep, check out Elevated EMS Education and subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter. Thanks.